Hello everyone, and welcome to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I am participating in the Minis Challenge that is being hosted by Corey at Crafted by Corey. I'll let you know more about that in just a few minutes, but if you are new here or visiting from Corey's channel or any of the participants' channels, welcome. My name is Brenda. I'm so happy to have you here. If you like home decor on a budget, as well as holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, as well as an occasional Dollar Tree haul, then I hope you would consider subscribing to my channel and give me that thumbs up. And for all the rest of you, welcome back. So happy to have you here again this week. And with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, for DIY number 1, I'm going to use 3 of those blocks from Dollar Tree, plus some of the metal letters I got from Dollar Tree, these napkins I got from Walmart, and then some paint. I'm using WAVERLY chalk paint in the color Plaster and the color Crimson, and then apple barrel paint in the color English Navy. And I just start off by painting each block with each color. So a red one, a blue one, and a white one. And then once I get them all painted and dried, I take one of those napkins and I trim out one of the, or I should say cut out one of the blue stars. Now, this is a 2-ply napkin. I would suggest taking the second ply off before you cut, because it would be a little easier. I had to do it after it was cut, and it was a little difficult, but not too hard. And so then here I'm just trimming that star down so that it would fit the block, because it was a little bit larger than the block. Then I'm just going to use some Mod Podge and put it on the block. And then I'm going to lay that star right on top of that Mod Podge and just dab it on. You want to be very careful that you don't rip it. That's why you don't want to rub. And then once I have that on and it feels secure, I just rub some more of the Mod Podge over it, and that is done. And then I do the same thing with the blue block. I cut out a red star, and I am going to adhere it to that block the same way as I did the blue star. And then with that white block, I just cut out a smaller blue one and a smaller red star, and I do the same process. And then I do the same thing on the back side of those blocks as well, because it is going on my tier tray and I wanted it to be two-sided, so that the back side has a little character as well. And then once I am done with all this Mod Podging, I am going to I take these metal letters, and this is a corrugator that I've had for many, many years. It's for cardstock, but I'm using it since this metal is so thin to corrugate my letters. And once I had that all done, I am going to now not hot glue. I'm using my Fix-All adhesive that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to adhere each one of those letters to each block. So you'll see me there putting the U on, and then I put the S on the white one and the A on the blue one. So once I was all done with that, this is where I'm going to go in and hot glue each one of those blocks together. And if you want, you can just stop at that. It's very cute that way, but I always like extra, I guess, and you may not like it. It's fine. This is just kind of what I liked. So I took this ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I am going to cut it in half. So I fold it over and just cut it in half. I cut out a strip that was long enough to go around my blocks, and then I'm just putting each one of those strips, I'm hot gluing at where they meet, at where each of those blocks meet, and I'm just hot gluing them on. And then after that, I'm going to take some blue and star ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby as well, and I made these teeny little bows, and I'm just going to hot glue them in the middle of the red ribbon on each layer. And there it is, easy as can be. Okay guys, so today's challenge is a minis challenge, which means we make mini items 4-tier trays, and it's being hosted by Corey. And if you don't know who Corey is, I really encourage you to check out her channel. She is the sweetest lady I have met here on YouTube, and I just love watching her. And she even likes to dive into things that she's not comfortable with, that she maybe hasn't done or hasn't perfected, which really encourages me to do the same. So really check out her videos. She makes a lot of beautiful home decor, and check out the people on the playlist too to see what they come up with. So with all that being said, let's continue crafting. Okay, for DIY number 2, I'm going to take 5 of these tumbling tower blocks and some twine. Now I took 2 of these blocks and I'm going to hot glue them together end to end. I took another block and I cut it down with my miter shears, probably about, I don't think it was halfway. It might have been half. It might have been half. And then I'm hot gluing that to the top of the other one. And then I'm just going to leave the last one the same size that it is. Then I'm going to take each one, and this one the smaller one here, I'm painting blue, and then I'm going to use red and white on the other ones. And these are the same colors I used on the first project, and it doesn't matter what order you paint them in, whichever you prefer. And so if you are new or just visiting from one of the other channels, welcome. So happy to have you here. I hope you enjoy what you see. And if so, hit that subscribe button and join our little family. So once I am done painting all of these, I did end up using my little dryer to dry them. And then I lay them out, and I'm going to hot glue the red and the blue one onto that white one. And I'm using that blue one there just to make sure there's room for both. I didn't want to have the red one on too much so that the blue one didn't stay on. So once those were hot glued on, I just take some twine and I wrap it around a couple of times, and then I cut it off and just tie a knot. It's that simple. This one is super easy, guys. In fact, I probably should have made more than one because I think it's really easy and really cute. So what I do here next is I take 3 pieces of the twine, and I didn't really measure. I just kind of made them however big. I tie a knot, tied them all 3 in a knot at the end, and then I trim it down and trim it to the size I wanted, and then I just put some hot glue on the top of one of those Jenga blocks and then hot glue it down. And so now I have 3 little mini firecrackers. Then I took that gold rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree. I'm sorry I'm not showing it here. I've used it before and I didn't have much success, so I thought I'd try it again. And I'm just putting its 3 little stars, and I'm just rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it, because I'm learning that with this, especially this gold leaf one, you have to rub it really good, otherwise it tries pulling that gold leaf off. But I was very pleased because it was successful this time, and it came out just like that. And that DIY is done, and I will show you that in just a sec. Okay, and so for the next DIY, I am going to use some burlap and some paper, some half beads, and some dowels. Now I took the burlap and I cut it in squares, and I'm just gonna fold it in half and pinch the middle. And then you're gonna cut about 2/3 of the way in on each corner. You don't wanna cut all the way, just real close to the end there. And then once you have all sides cut on all 3 pieces, oh, there's my Oliver. He was feeling neglected, wanted some love because I've been in my craft room so much lately. So I picked him up and showed him some love. Okay, so you're going to take the corner of each one of those triangles and fold it in just like that. And then I'm going to put some hot glue there, and you're going to fold them into the hot glue, just like I'm doing there. And then once that's all hot glued on, just take one of those half beads and put it in the middle there. And then you take a dowel and you hot glue in the back and attach the dowel. Now, if you want to paint the beads or the dowel, you can go ahead and do that. I just kind of like the simplicity of the natural color there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the paper, but I just trimmed out 2 squares, and then I'm going to hot glue those 2 squares together. And I did 3 different papers, I think, 3 or 4 different papers. And then I did 2 of each pattern paper. And I did the same exact thing as I did the first one. I don't know what happened to my video. It didn't show it, but I just did the same thing as I did to the burlap. And then once I had them all together, I took this little pail that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I put some floral foam inside of it, and then I am just sticking all of these little pinwheels in, just layering them in wherever I wanted and where I thought they looked best. And then once I was done doing that, I had some scraps of the Patriotic scarves that I got from Dollar Tree before, and I just stuffed it in the middle so you didn't see all of that foam. So here is the next DIY. This one I took some twine, I took some ribbon. Both those ribbons I got from Hobby Lobby. And I had previously cut out a triangle out of that ribbon. And here I am just using that cutout as a template. And I'm going to cut out, I go through and cut out, I think, 20 of each ribbon. But I didn't use the full 20. I probably used about maybe 14 of those triangles of each. But once I get them all cut out, then I am just going to take some red ribbon that I also got from Hobby Lobby, and I just cut out some strips, and then I cut them in half because I didn't want them real thick. And here I'm just going to take one of those triangles, I lay it out, and I'm going to put some hot glue right at the top. I'm going to put the twine on it, and then I'm just going to roll the top over that twine so that it makes a little banner. And then I tie a knot, or I should say, I take one of those little red ribbons and I tie it around the twine and just tie a knot. And then I do the same thing with that other ribbon, the burlap ribbon there, the tan one, and I just alternate the ribbons and the red ribbons, if that makes sense. I just keep alternating until I have the length that I wanted, and that is all there is. At the very end, I tied a knot on each end of the twine, and that was it. It was that easy, super easy. And you'll see that here in a minute. Oh, I guess I show you another one. This DIY is so short. I think I added a couple extra seconds here of me doing these little banners because it is super easy. And then here I'm just gonna, oh, I forgot to tie a red ribbon in the middle of that one. Okay, there you go. There's the final product. And then this is the last DIY. These are some simple ones, so I added 5 today. I took one of those little house calendars I found at Dollar Tree and this paper I got from Hobby Lobby and some Scrabble tiles that I got from Dollar General, and I actually ordered more from Amazon. And I'm drinking my coffee that when I did this too. So I started by taking those little blocks with the date out and pulling off the front. It comes off really easy. It did rip the paper, of course, which is fine because I'm going to cover it up. So I just kind of ripped up some of that paper, and then I am going to trace it out. Now I only traced it out once and then later decided I wanted to do it again for the back. So you might want to trace out 2 at the same time, and then I'm going to hot glue it onto the front, and I'd recommend hot gluing it onto the back before you start layering everything because it just makes it a little easier when you have to go trim the paper off on the sides. So here I'm just cutting this out, which I really didn't need to show you. Sorry guys, I hope you're not too bored with that. Once it was all cut out, I am going to, like I said, hot glue it right to the front of that house. And then once I have that all on there, I take my words and I spelled out Home of the Brave, and I'm just hot gluing I thought I was going to need that little ruler to keep them straight, and then I realized, oh, they're all the same size, and all I have to do is put them next to each other. So I'm just going to hot glue all the words on, so that way it will read Home of the Brave. And this one is so simple, and I just loved the way it came out. I thought about doing the saying off my Cricut, but I don't know. I don't use these Scrabble pieces enough, and I just think they are so cute. So I just, like a light bulb went off when I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh, this would be perfect to use these things. So once I'm done here, oh, I had to use my R there because I wanted to make sure it was going to be even with the T. So I put my R in place so I knew where to lay my B. And you can start like in the middle. I've seen some crafters, they'll start in the middle of the word and then work their way out to make sure that it's even. And yes, my coffee's sitting there. It got cold. I ended up drinking cold coffee that morning. Good thing I don't mind cold coffee. Just give me coffee. That's all I care about. Once I was done with that and had that all on there, I just took some of that twine and I tied a little knot at the end of it so it kind of helps grab the hot glue. And then I put some hot glue on it, and then I just wrapped it around about 4 times, trim it, cut another knot at the end, and then hot glue that one down as well. And this is where it would have been nicer if I would have had that paper on the back side, because then it would look cute with the twine around the paper on the back, but instead I cover it up. So then I just took this little wooden heart that I got from, I believe I got this at Walmart. It was in a bag full of different size hearts. And once that was dry, I just hot glue that onto the front corner on the bottom there, and I just think it looks so darn cute. And then here is where I'm putting the paper on the back, so you see it would have looked much better with that twine on the back. And then I took that little piece that held the date on it, and I'm just going to use that as my stand so that it stands up. And there it is. I just love it. I think it is so cute. And I don't think it matters what the back looks like because it has stuff behind it to hide it. So there's the final projects. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you check out Corey's channel, as well as any of the other creators that are in the playlist. And I hope you guys have a great day. I will be back again on Sunday with my first collab, so make sure your notification bells are set, and have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.